Hi Sam, it's Nico Hines here, just coming out of the surf, just seeing what you're up to. Thought if you want to grab a coffee or something, we can talk about next time I'm on the pod. And I'll tell you some good stuff about the time when I signed at Cronulla, and then also the time where I re-signed at Cronulla. Like maybe we could do a two-parter, when I signed and then when I re-signed. Anyway, bro, just shoot us a call. You got my number. I'll speak to you later. Cheers, bro.
Hi, it's Fitzy here, Shinazzi. Just calling to just bump you up for a big derby week. You know what the funny thing is? I live in the Gong and Toronto lives in the Shire. So it's really a home game for us. So don't worry, we've got it good. 13 plus Sharkies. Alright, call me back.
Sharkies! Sharkies!
People back in the Shire, turn your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.
Hey there, welcome to Sharkcast, a podcast dedicated to the greatest club in the history of the entire universe, the mighty Cronulla Sharks, who are currently out training on a Friday late morning training session. I know this because I'm with someone who's scoping out their work. His name is Nathan Brookes. He's a dirty dragon, but a sexy stealer. And he is a good mate of mine. We've known each other for a long time. And he works for SEN. He's a powerhouse at that very much rising corporation in sports media in the Sydney landscape. They own the Melbourne one. If you can't tell, there's a bit of ambience around, and that is because we are at the King Wan. We've resurrected the King Wan, or as it's now known as Golden Bay, in the Sharks precinct. And Brooksy said to me, we got to do a preview. Yep, tick. Where are we going to do it? Let's go to Mr. Paisley's. Nah, not enough history. Let's go to Northies. No, too much history. Let's go to the King Wan. And here we are, Brooksy. Welcome to the show, my man.
Oh, Schnaz, you dirty shark listeners. Thank you very much for having me back on. It's great to be down here. I haven't been here since they've done the development, but this is a great spot. You see it on TV at the Golden Bay, and you don't know what people are doing, but I get a good vibe here. Lazy Susans, big glass windows that look straight onto the field. Feel like you're in a big corporate box. It's turning into a nice facility, Schnaz, and it's great to be back here talking the greatest game of all, but in particular, one of those matchups that just gets us fired up twice a year.
Yeah, this one's going to be a lot more important than the first one, which was actually forgettable. We won 20-10 right here at Shark Park, but there was nothing redeeming about that derby at all. It'd be top 3 worst derbies probably ever. But anyway, a derby's a derby. We love a derby. And this one's really important for what happens to our teams at the end of the year. You are having your most successful season in a long time, thanks to former Shark, Shane Flanagan. Now, we are going to be here for a while. You might hear us eating some Chinese food, drinking some tea. Just go with it. It's going to be a pretty loose episode. We have had a lot of requests for Nathan Brookes to be back on the show. And here he is. You wanted him. You got him. And it's up to you now what happens, because I personally didn't want him on the show because I know what he's going to say. But you wanted him, you got him, listeners. Brooksy, how have you been anyway? What's been going on in your world?
I've been good. So this morning, I worked out that we did the podcast in June 2023. So a lot has happened, Shinaz. You guys played finals football. We didn't. It was pretty clear on that podcast. And then interesting off-season, wasn't it? We went over to Las Vegas for the first time. I got to go over there and get a taste of what Andrew Abdo and Peter V'landys had envisioned with growing the game overseas. An amazing 9 days, going to as much NBA as possible, getting to a Bill Burr stand-up, which was amazing. You must see that, man.
That's exactly what Andrew Abdo wanted you to do.
Yeah.
Go watch more NBA.
Yeah, and I didn't even go to the NRL. No, I did. I got to go to the games. The doubleheader. I got to the combine to see some of the local talent out at the UFC Performance Center, which is just about 5-10 Ks off the strip there. Bumped into James Graham, Brad Walter, Dean Messiter, who runs the NRL roast page. So we got a great insight as to what is doing there. An Aussie company doing all the testing of the performance of the up-and-coming stars. Good to see all that side of things. And the vibe there with the Nines tournament, with the test match, you can just see it's been, I think, a success from the get-go, that event. Your boys are going next year, so if you need any tips, things to do, things to avoid, let me know. I went to the... due to our few colleagues of ours, my ex-colleagues, your current colleagues at Fox Sports, got to see the Thunder from Down Under on day one. Sort of not to be missed.
Why am I going to that?
It's fun. It's a fun night. A few of the Fox boys had a little too much fun.
So out of all the things in Las Vegas that I could do, the restaurants, the shows, the rock and roll shows, the cabaret, the giant eye looking back at me, the sports.
Avoid the Sphere. Go see some Aussie blokes in their undies standing up on your table. No, it was good. U2 was at the Sphere. Way too much money. I think the Eagles might be there.
Well, they've announced up until Christmas. Not sure what's happening post-Christmas.
Yeah. Just hopefully a couple more tequila sunrises and the boys will be there for the doubleheader Mark II. A lot of locals got around at Shinazzi, were given cheap tickets the week before. And I propped myself up. You know the big flame at Allegiant Stadium?
Yes,
up
I do.
on, I think it's a third tier. Amazing stadium. Looking out over the ground. You had your own self-service bar up there where you just scan your phone, walk in, grab cans. It works out what you've grabbed, charges you and lets you out.
I mean, they do that at Shark Park now too.
Oh, because of that hot dog lady that spent 40 minutes lining up for the hot dog.
We do this every year. It was
I
Red
know,
Rooster,
it's so
dude.
good.
It was Red Rooster.
That's good. Yeah. Oh, maybe it was the hot dog that was thrown at you, Schnaz. I can't remember. It's just,
I threw a hot dog at Wise Catamarati. But I'd had 48 beers.
Oh.
Now look who's coming our way. Look what's coming our way.
Okay.
Brookes's choice.
It feels like a
Brookes's choice.
prawn and spinach. Yeah, we'll go with prawn and spinach if we can. Thank you.
Thank you.
What one's that one?
Garlic prawn.
Garlic prawn. Yeah, and that'll do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The Vegas, I think Sharks fans are going to get around it. It was so much fun, and I think it's something that if you can do it, do it.
That's a change of tune from you, from your infamous tweet back then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got hammered for that.
If you can afford to go, that's not what your tweet said. You said you have to go to Vegas no matter what.
No, I said put your money where your mouth is. There was a lot of negativity. And
negativity on the X?
On the Vegas. On the NRL going to Vegas. And, yes, and on the X, sorry. I thought you meant my ex. And I was like, which one?
We don't go there, Brooks.
But, yeah, it was great. It was awesome. And I think...
Big advocate for going there. You went there. You experienced a lot of it. I know you were so amped.
Yeah.
One of our other colleagues, who doesn't really listen to the show much, Aaron, met up with you in LA.
Yes,
Is that right?
We met up in LA and met up in Vegas after the game and spent some time at the MGM on that last night, which was massive. But yeah, it's something... I didn't think they could put it together as well as they did, and I think now that the English teams are going over to Schnaz, which is something that was clear and evident over there, that a lot of people were travelling from England to come to this, because if you want to see some NRL, it takes you 24 hours to get from England to Australia. It only takes you 10, maybe less, to get to Vegas, depending on if you're flying through St. Paul or Minneapolis or Houston, depending, it's all dependent on what carrier you're going with and what random airport you end up in. It could be Charlotte, it could be Philly. Look at you go.
This is part of the story.
Just want a corner of a dumpling, do you, Schnaz? Not the whole
A lot
thing.
more video this year on the YouTube. This
Yeah.
one's not YouTube for this reason. I got half a dumpling, but
How
that's
good's
okay.
YouTube? I'm going to give a plug to us. We just racked up 1 million views on YouTube on the Joel and Fletch
That's
show.
amazing, dude. That is amazing.
And it just shows you that media's taking off, the game's taking off. You got to go down different paths.
Yes.
Like our radio show, you wouldn't think we'd be putting stuff on YouTube, but you have to. And that's like the rugby league. You are, yes, the Australian rugby league with the New Zealand team, and you've got a bit of fandom in England and across the Pacific. But you've got to take games to the US. It's a massive market. They love their sport. They love their gambling. And it's just, I think it's important and pivotal that they do this 5 years and see what happens from it.
Now, we are flying pretty free here. We will get to the derby throughout the episode. We're all about the derby. But I want to ask about, were you there
Liverpool-Everton.
Were you there for, I've lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
The
standard Schnaz. How about Scrubs? God, I love Zach Braff.
the warm-up events, the night before the launches. Where was the venue? It was like...
Oh, in Old Vegas.
Old Vegas.
Up
Did you go to those?
Fairmont Street. No, my flight was delayed from LA.
Because I heard they were off the chart and the vision is unbelievable.
Yeah, it looked amazing. That's a definite goer if you are a Sharkies fan going over. Lit up the old strip, and I think everyone that I spoke to that went to Vegas, that was the highlight for them outside of the game. I think the thing about that too was just getting everyone together in one spot just to go, you know what, we're here.
Yeah.
How good's this? And you've got all the neon lights.
Yeah.
I just think from seeing that vision, and I'm sure it was on Fox, wasn't it?
Yes.
That they were showing some of that. I think that whet the appetite for everyone for the weekend, which led to the biggest ever ratings on Fox, right?
Crazy.
For that standalone game. I think that's why we're in a position that we're selling out so many games this year off the back of the Warriors charge last year. The Warriors sold out their whole season. I know you guys did too, but you're only filling 891 seats, Schnaz. Those guys are filling 28,000 week in, week out.
And the Warriors, bless, are stinking it up.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they're going to win for Sean and the Sharks this week against the Dogs. Then Sean's going to lose his last game here. His last game ever will be at Shark Park. The poetry.
It's good. What, did you have 2 seasons here, Schnaz?
3. Played 1.
Yeah, he probably, I remember he had a hamstring injury, Achilles as well? It was a tough stint. I thought it was a good get, like getting Sean Johnson here. I know that the Warriors were looking at a different path and wanted to ring in a new era. But it's funny how, and ironic that the new era came in when he came back. Yeah. And there was new ownership and, they really went back to the heritage of the Warriors, like 95, bringing back the colours of the blue, green and red. And, it's sad to see him go, but I think it's definitely there's a tie in there with the Sharkies too, because his departure will mean that there's opportunity for Lukey Metcalf, who I think he was sort of not getting a run here. We had injury history.
We had established halves,
and you had established halves.
Yeah.
And it'd be good to see him get a decent shot at first grade without the competition of, Sean's got to play. It's a matter of who's playing with him. And it felt like it was going to be him this year until he got injured.
Yeah.
Started so hot like Hansel, and then unfortunately got the injuries. And
you're going to eat some food, right?
Yeah, I'm going to. And then one more thing.
Yeah.
The Warriors farewelling Adam Fanua-Blake because he's coming here. Are you excited? Are you boys excited to get a big bopper like that?
We're excited and we're scared as well. Because imagine a withdrawn podcaster going up to him going, "Excuse me, sir, could I have an interview with you?"
You're going to have to film that first interview.
Towering over me.
Schnaz just high-fiving Nico and everyone.
What's your favourite music? He just walks off.
Yeah.
When I say it.
Who? Cool
and
story.
This will get back to him as well.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Fanua-Blake. It's going to make Blake Brayley, who's having an awesome year this year, even more awesome next year.
Plenty of Blaking going on.
Excuse me.
Look, you got Blake Brayley and Fanua-Blake. Like a connection there.
A lot of Brayleys too, all over the place.
Brayleys, yeah.
It's a Brayley-a-thon. I was thinking, is there any chance Brayley of the Jaden variety comes home to Flano at some point?
Well, there was an opportunity to do that earlier in the year.
Who'd you buy? You bought someone.
Damien Cook.
Yeah, all right. That won't happen then. Okay, so that's not going to happen. Brayley won't go back there.
No. Maybe come back here. Maybe Souths. With
he won't
Cook
come back here, I don't think. Maybe
could you see Wayne Bennett bringing Jaden Brayley?
I think he would be good for him.
Back to the southern part of Sydney. Because we all know they live in the Shire.
They do.
Play for the Bunnies.
You know who used to live in the Shire?
Elle McPherson.
And he's coming back to live...
Daniel McPherson.
I would imagine... Daniel does live in the Shire and listens to this show, actually, as well. Daniel's a great guy. Someone else is coming back to live in the Shire and going to wear your colours next year. For 3 years.
Oh, Valentine Holmes.
Now, you said that. I didn't say that.
Wow.
Can you eat some food, please?
Yeah. I'm just excited to be here.
I know.
I'm sort of just
I
taking
can
it
tell.
all in. So I'm diverting off topic, not really talking about round 25 as such,
We'll
just
get
in
there.
and around
We'll get there.
2025, Vegas.
Where are you going to play
Origin.
Valentino next year? If you're Coach Brookes.
Well, you're looking at the side. I think he comes straight in for Zach Lomax, don't you think?
So wing.
Have to be.
Uh-huh. Because who's your centers? Sully and...
Whoever's not injured.
okay. Ideally, who
we've
is
got the Fernay brothers in the
Right.
centres at the moment.
Okay.
Jack Bird was there before he got injured, who's now filling in for Kyle Flanagan.
Yes.
At 5'8". So, yeah, I think wing or centre would have to be the position. You've got that.
Go to fullback when old mate's injured or whatever.
Yeah, or just going back to reserve grade to improve on his defence. Like, you've got that variation where he can play fullback, wing, centre. I think that's why
Goal
it's a good
kicker.
signing.
Yep.
Kicks goals.
Cowboys pay, what, $300,000 of his money next
hopefully.
year? Yeah.
One more spot left, Shinaz. Big bopper.
Who are you talking
Flano's
to?
saying
You
we've got
talking to
Daniel
us?
Saifidi or RCG, the reverse cowgirl.
Who would you go?
I forgot about the rating of this podcast
We're all
as soon as
good.
that came
Well,
out.
that's okay.
That's
well, who would you go out of those two as a player? Who would you bring in?
Campbell Gillard, I think. Still got it. I think he's still got it. I think he's just maybe copying it because the Eels are playing poorly.
Yeah, when you're in a team that's not going well, you can still play good, but it's,
Eyes on the veterans. That why are you playing so badly? It's not the young guys, it's the veterans.
you know, you couldn't begrudge the guy of maybe not being 10 out of 10 every week if everyone else is at a 3.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind the idea of a Saifidi, though, going there, getting a new start, and I think either way you can...
Trade Steel Cities.
You can,
Go from
yeah.
Newcastle to Wollongong.
Yeah.
I'd see him being more of a maybe shy guy.
You want everyone to come here.
Well, look at all these new apartments. Like, it's like you're trying to steal Rabbitohs and Dragons players to come live here. Live the lifestyle, guys.
It's a nice lifestyle.
How many of these units does Nico Hines own?
Yeah.
Surely part of the deal.
Just that building over there. That building there he owns.
Nico Hines wing.
Nico owns the Shire. I mean, you'll see that when you see him walking around soon. He's the man. He's coming back in a couple of weeks.
Big get back.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the last few weeks without him,
Yeah.
in particular the Titans game,
Ooh.
that was impressive without your halves?
Yeah, it's just not something you want to do every week because we tried it against the Knights and it worked for 15 minutes, then didn't work for the majority of the game. So, impressive. Like, some of the game against Melbourne, I reckon, is one of my favourite, like, coached games. I thought because they had, like, less than 24 hours. They didn't know who was going where.
Yeah.
And they went, okay, Brayley, you're going to be halfback. McInnes, you're going to be 5'8", whatever it was. Then Atkinson came in. He played 5'8". It was amazing. At Melbourne, against Melbourne, yeah.
It's sort of what Fitzy did was just reinforce. I know a few of us that want this, but you don't have to wear the number of the position that you play in.
Yeah.
Because you should pick a number, I think, and have your name on your back or somewhere. Name on the jersey. I actually thought of a way to get around the personalised jersey thing. Remember, Gus blocked me back in the day for suggesting that Penrith should do it with Maloney and Mansour and Cleary, like having those numbers in the T-shirt jersey realm, that when the Panthers play well, you know, fans can go and get those T-shirt jerseys and go, I was there for that game.
He blocked you for that?
Got blocked, but he shut down his Twitter, reopened it, and I'm now unblocked.
You're back.
2.0. But I thought, Shinaz, what do you reckon about this? Have you guys got a milestone game coming up soon? One of the players? I can't remember.
I'm sure there would be one coming
let's
up.
say,
Yeah.
Let's say
A 150, a 200?
Brayley plays his 150th, 200th game. You know, and I'm going to divert quickly here. How good was Dargans for Jack Bird when he got Dargans engraved on his shirt?
It made me very happy. I got to tell you, it made me very happy.
It's it was funny.
His response was really cool. He was like, "Oh, I've got two now. I've got the Dargans, and they've given me a Dragons one as well."
I was hoping the Titans for Kieran Foran's 300th put Titans v Dargans on it, just as a little. I know there's only 53 people that have played 300 first grade games, and no one's ever done it while at the Titans. But we're gonna just make a statement here and put Dargans on your jersey. But yeah, like how good would it be if you could get those sort of jerseys? You could buy them the Blake Brayley 9 jersey with Blake Brayley 200th game B. That's the way you can get around it without having the big name on the back that gets rid of the sponsor. You've got the Blake Brayley 200 jersey. I know it takes away from the specialty of what Blake had just gone through, but
Not
I think
really.
fans would get around it.
I don't think it takes away from it. I like the idea of the training jersey being available with the player number.
Legacy number.
Yeah. So
that's good.
Mawini Hiroti 582, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's go. I want to buy that. But I think the players actually think that is their
IP?
No, not the IP. It's like their
NIL. The name, image, likeness, college stuff.
No, not that either. It's their own property. Like it's their one thing that they don't want someone else to have that. So Hey, how's it going? Microphones, doing a podcast. No, because if we had a speaker, we'd be disturbing everyone. So we're just talking, and it's being recorded here. Yeah, we're talking about the Sharks. We love the Sharks. Yeah. No. We wouldn't do that.
It's probably a good thing that it's not on the speakers. I'm liking the 80s music, the playlist that's on here. It's very good.
We need Nathan to eat some more food.
Yeah, I've got to start eating more.
We're okay for now, but we'll get more later, yeah. We'll call you, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Prawn's good. This is good.
It's all good. It's all good.
Very good.
The Golden Bay.
Thank you very much.
Come down to the Golden Bay, everyone. Tell them Sharkcast sent you. Now, on your obsession with jerseys and numbers and everything, I did forget to tell everyone that this is also going to be a dual episode on another podcast feed known as The League Life.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention that you are The League Life and I was The League Life. We were The League Life together, Brookesy and Shinazzi and Brookesy. I completely forgot to do that intro at the start. I'm not going to do it now and edit it later because it's too much hassle.
Exactly.
But what we did here at the start of the show was some of your prank calls to me during the week. And one was impersonating the coach of the year, and the other was impersonating podcaster, author, halfback, legendary Shire person, Nico Hines.
Fresh out of the surf. Or was going to the surf. I don't know. I can't remember. He probably gets 2 surfs a day in.
He surfs, yeah.
So, but yes, Fitzy, he made his debut as an Illawarra Steeler. I want to see him do well, but not twice a season. And, I'll take 22-2, Schnaz, for the Sharkies. I'll take it. I'll let it go. I'll see that. How much are we getting for a minor premiership now?
You've won like 14 games or something. You're on your way.
Yeah, I know. No, but I'm just saying, in theory, if I'm looking at a season, I don't mind the Sharkies getting 22 wins, 3 bye points. That's 50. That's 50
3 bye
points. Has anyone done that? No, like 6 points. Sharkies fan Phil Rothfield, rolling out every 4 weeks how much points should be worth for a win, a golden point win, a golden point loss. And it's like Buzz's idea. It's similar to our ideas on a podcast. It's like, have I told you this idea about the jerseys before, Schnaz? Probably have on 4 League Life podcast. But Buzz, let it go, mate. We all love Golden Point. You guys obviously love it.
One half of this duo right here doesn't love Golden Point.
You don't like Golden Point?
Nah, give me a draw anytime.
Do you like Golden Bay?
Like Golden Bay.
Not Golden Point.
Not Golden Point.
Okay.
Finals? Necessity. Can't live without it.
So you want to draw. You want to walk away going,
That's what I want.
So you.
Now, don't get personal, Brooksy.
But you understand it's 10 minutes. And then if you can't score, it's a draw.
I understand the rules.
You just think it's brutal just losing 2 points?
I understand it in other sports. I just think this sport was going along great for so long. I didn't see it was necessary. And I say that as the guy that won this week in Golden Point. So I'm not 100% like, you can't do this. I'm not anti, but if I had the choice, I would be like, no, I think we'll go back to draws. That's just how I am.
Imagine one of our idols, Jerry Seinfeld, was a massive NRL fan.
Did you attend?
I attended. I was there for the interruption.
Baby. Me too.
You were there?
Yeah. Didn't we talk about this? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
Great show.
Anyway, our man Jerry, if he was an NRL fan, he'd be going on Rove Live on Tuesday going, what is the deal with blockers? Where are they meant to go? What should they do?
So the rule actually that came in place was officiated correctly.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, as Jerry would say, it's a big matzo ball hanging off out of your mouth.
Big matzo ball.
The funniest thing out of all that if you watch the replay of the Sharks winning goal, Oregon Kafusi running towards Woolooware Golf Club.
It's like, you know the Grand Theft Auto games and stuff?
I do.
And you're controlling a guy, and he just goes rogue. And you just go, I'm hitting X and 0. I don't know why he's running at an angle. That's what it feels like that these players have to do. Let's use the NFL vernacular. Eligible receiver from the play the ball. Yep. And you don't get the ball. So you're just meant to roll up into a ball and lay on the ground. But then you're still obstructing the way. You're still blocking his ankles from...
Yeah. So the only positive I like in it, Brooksy, is I believe, personally, that kicking a field goal for a team is a little bit too easy in this day and age before this rule came in. So I'm kind of okay with the rule, but for example, it has to be flexible where on the weekend, okay, the kick that the Knights had didn't actually go through. Say it went through, in all seriousness, it went through, Will Kennedy wasn't obstructed.
No.
So I'm okay with him running through and those guys being there. But I like the fact that the rule is there, but I would just make it a little bit more flexible if they'd gone, hey, Will Kennedy, don't do that. As in, like, I'm going to stop you.
Verbally or physically? Or both? Hey, Will, don't do that.
Then that's penalty.
Oh.
You know. So I'm in between there, but yeah, it was being here, it was very confusing just watching as a fan. I was like, what the hell's going on?
They've got to look at it. The rules committee, the Canadian boffins that do the draw, whoever's involved, just look at it and just go, wait, this might be a little bit ridiculous for the people that are, trying to be part of the play. But like, I don't understand the fact that you have an attacking team rolling down the field, obviously doing their best, getting to a position to kick a field goal, and then you take away that advantage of trying to kick a field goal by saying you've all got to pretty much just, designate your field goal kicker and everyone get behind him. That's theoretically what you're asking a team to do. I think it's stupid. I think it's silly. And I think the onus should be on the defending team to try and weave through those players that are onside to block the field goal.
Right.
We should be allowing teams to be able to win the game and not try and restrict them to win the game and making it nigh impossible.
The other thing I would ask, Brooksy, is how many penalties have we seen this year for blocking?
No, 2.
2? That's it.
That's all I've seen.
So it must have happened.
A bit biased,
We've had some golden point field goal opportunities this year.
100%. And then people have been offside, chasing.
So just on golden point, we have had some mail come in. One's from Chad.
Ooh.
Chad makes a great point. He says you can't have 3 points allocated for golden point games when every other team doesn't have that opportunity to play golden point games. So during the midweek episode with TK, I was like, okay, let's have golden point, 3 for the winner, 1 for the loser.
Yep.
But Chad's right, because that puts teams who don't play golden point at disadvantage on the points ladder scheme of things. So great, obvious but great point, which I didn't think about. His thoughts are, do away with golden point and have golden try, or do away with it altogether.
I think we got to golden point because there was a groundswell from people saying we can't have draws anymore.
Right.
So are we just going to get into this cycle of how good's golden point, how bad is golden
That's
point,
what rugby
how
league
good's a draw,
That's what rugby league is.
how bad's a draw?
State of origin end of year, state of origin mid-year. Sunday,
I don't know.
Monday.
I think it's exciting. I think it's entertaining. I think our ratings probably go to record levels, or not record levels, but the highest levels for a game when it goes into golden point or is close. So to just cut it off for 10 minutes is, I think, detrimental to the product.
Now, we've got other mail off topic, but I want to throw this one out there.
Wait, sorry, Chad, is that the Chad that's coming back to Sydney?
Different Chad.
Oh, that's exciting. I think it's good that he's back down here
CT?
finishing his career. Yeah,
QBCT?
Done some good stuff up in the Cowboys.
I reckon his hours at SEN and Fox are going to increase too. It's win-win for the Chadster. Jacob was in touch, and he said, every photo or video I see of Jesse Ramian walking into the ground or off the team bus, he always has a coffee in his hand. We need to know what his order is. What sort of cuppa does the big dog drink? So I'm going to ask you, Brooksy, what is your opinion on what, and I'll get the answer, of course, but what is your answer? And I'll let you know how he goes.
I'm going wide. I reckon it's miso soup.
Jeez.
I think he's going for a hot savoury beverage rather than a
Really?
hot coffee beverage, yeah.
That's pretty wide of the mark, I reckon. But we'll get to the answer. We'll get to the bottom of the.
You don't want? Do you want milk? leading into a
On game day, I personally
Make you
wouldn't.
Foamy and farty. I was going to say.
Adam is a friend of the show, was in touch. He said, I was sitting behind the post for the Knights field goal. It missed. Clearly, the whole stand went up. It definitely missed. So Adam was there to see that. And when I was watching Side On from the media box, which you know where that is. And actually, here's one for you, Brooksy. When you go back and watch the Sharks Knights game, so you can work out where the Dragons are going to lose the game this week.
Oh, video, yeah, do my video
Analysis,
session.
your tape. Right on the start of Golden Point. So actually around the coin flip, they go to Adam O'Brien. Shot, nice tight shot of him. And if you look, you can't miss. To the left, old Shinazzi, the shadow of Shinazzi. I'm right there. And our colleague Josh Balling's going to text. He goes, I don't know who's more worried at this point, you or Adam. And it's there for everyone to see. So that's a bit of fun.
You felt like he came out this week that there's a clause in his contract
What
for the
about
re-signing that 13th or under doesn't get ratified. So you can see by the emotion that he showed then and in the presser that clearly the clause is weighing on him. Even though that might have been the end of finals footy, he's still got a little finals series himself to try and make.
It was funny watching him so close because I am pretty obsessed with him as a coach, and I am disrespecting him, but I don't know him. So for all I know, he's a legend. For all I know, he's the greatest guy in the world and the greatest coach in the world. But from just watching, observing him, thank you very much, Brooksy, it was very much coach one-on-one, how to react to a sporting event. The pen was thrown, the F-bombs were going, couple of C-bombs. You know, someone gives away a penalty. It's the end of the world. Come on, man.
A pen throw is probably the bottom of desperation, isn't it? Like if you,
it was getting towards the end. He was like,
you're just grabbing whatever you can find and just chucking it. Where would you chuck it at the glass?
Yeah,
what did you do? Chuck it at Ronald Griffiths. Who was he chucking the pen at?
Blake Green, former Shark Blake
Another
Green,
Blake.
wasn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Troy, who is the Sharks media guy, who's a friend of the show, he was very...
No, I'm looking up at the grandstand. Sorry. And before when Shinazzi said thank you, I refilled his tea. So we're mates, even though it's Derby week. So you've got, is that the Cronulla box next to Club 67? Is that like disco ball, like if you can read my mind, New York nightclub sort of vibes up there, Club 67?
That is corporate, yeah.
Wow.
The place to be. That is where I was schmoozing when the hammer went 90 metres and scored. It was heartbreaking. I was with Alan Wilson and Jonathan Docking. What a name dropper I am.
How good. They both got dropped last episode. We talked about some of the iconic Sharkies, the 80s.
What I was going to say
90s.
was I was up with Troy and the Shark staff, and we were pretty into it. And Adam O'Brien's right there in the glass box, right next to us. And so as one, we went up when we got the field goal. Hey, we won the game, yeah. Troy said he looked around at us and he was not happy. Like, we shouldn't be doing that. It's like, come on, bro. This is our turf. This is our house.
Yeah, exactly. And like we were talking about, like very fragile end of the season for AOB.
I didn't realise that at the time.
So, yeah, you didn't realise. Yeah.
Karma, I think, if his job was on the line, for real. But let's talk Derby. Come on.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So this is the spiritual home of where Elle's dad, Peter, cut up the jersey.
So run us through for people that don't know. You've got some younger listeners
we
of
do.
the show. I'm sure you've brought it up.
We have. Twice a year, at least.
Ad nauseum. Yeah. So let's go history-wise.
So I don't have the information in front of me, but it was
date or time.
It might have been. It might have been 99. It was one of the glory years. It was late in the 90s, the great John Lang era. And the Sharkies had a pretty big derby win over your mob, obviously, at Shark Park. And it was back when the old club was here in the old King Wan, legendary King Wan Chinese restaurant. And it was the place to be afterwards, booked out for dinner and drinks and that kind of thing. And Peter Gow was was he chairman or CEO? Chairman. And, very influential guy, like successful businessman, obviously father of Elle. And
Mimi.
Yes, of course. So he was high on life after the win. Peter Gow, and I've interviewed him post
cutting.
Well, on Sharkcast a number of years ago. Still, to this day, passionate Sharks fan, follower. So on this night, he thought it'd be a bit of a laugh to get a Dragons jersey off someone, which he asked...
What, rip it off their body?
No, because he wasn't the biggest dude. But he asked the guy, like I think he slipped him $20 or whatever, and said, "Can I?"
$20. What are you doing with it? Oh, nothing.
He proceeded to cut up the jersey in front of everyone, going, "Hey, look at this!" And everyone went nuts. This is the best night ever.
Was he standing on the table or
He
standing
had to be
on
elevated somewhat.
the
Chair.
floor? If he's not a big guy, he's got to be lifted, doesn't he? Well, you don't want to cut the jersey under the table.
I believe people could see what he was doing, so we'll leave that to the history books. A former St. George Dragon was there, and I believe, we're talking about two guys who were not exactly, in their 20s anymore. These guys were
30s.
I don't want to put ages on them, but I think they were like sort of 50, 60-year-old dudes, right?
Someone will correct
So
you.
the St. George guy stands up and he's like, "What are you doing? I bled for that jersey."
Yeah.
And Gow doesn't care. He's like cutting up the jersey. Everyone's going, "Do it, do it."
He's cutting quicker. It's Derby week.
Like, full credit to the Dragons guy. He's like, no, not on my watch. And they have a fight in the Chinese restaurant. A fist fight. Of course, the news get onto it. It's news the next morning. I heard it on the radio in the car. I was traveling somewhere. I was like, what? What just happened? And it's become folklore ever since. Legendary. Yep. And, you and I, we always talk about the jersey, the cutting up of the jersey. That's what happened. Go Google it for a more succinct version. Yeah. But it means a lot, the rivalry. It doesn't mean you have to go cut up someone's jersey, but it means a lot. I think we've gone in so many different ways with this. Like, you've been successful. We have. Yep. You won a comp. We won a comp. RCB, an OG listener of our show, he said, "Is this the most meaningful derby in a long time? Like, when was the last one that actually meant something?"
Well, it's got, Well, you guys have won the last 8 from memory, and this one's got top 4, top 8 ramifications.
Yes.
So you guys want to keep winning to stay in the 4. We want to keep winning to stay in the 8 because we have to keep winning because the for and against for the Dragons, when we win close. When we lose, we lose.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 of those games. I've been to 2 Dragons games this year. We've conceded 108 points. The 60 points on Anzac Day and the 48 against the Bulldogs.
Weren't you leading as well? Anzac Day, you scored first.
You'd want to hope. Yeah, we did. It was 4-0 at least. But yeah, that been a bit of a disappointing part of this season, which has been quite a successful season for the Dragons.
It has, yeah.
But you see what the Sharks laid the first half of the season. They're reaping the benefits now with all the injuries that they've got, that they've had such a good start and maintain that top 4 spot, because I think this is the year, Shinaz, that team in 4th is going to be important. I can't see many teams beating Melbourne, Penrith and the Roosters that make the 8. Yeah. So you probably want that second chance. Knowing you guys the last few years, you do need that second chance.
But also, I know it's a crazy thing to say, but if you want to travel to either Penrith or Melbourne at this stage, I'm taking Melbourne.
Yeah.
Even with no Cleary, even with whatever, at least we've already done it there.
The interesting thing too is, Shinaz, yes, you have won and you've won big games, but if we win this game, 5v8 is on the cards coming back here in 4 weeks.
That'd be something.
It could happen, right?
And then I'm going to have to put up with all your tags and tweets going, "Shinaz, I can't believe we're playing at Shark Park. And this should be somewhere else."
That'll be, see, this is the thing, and I mentioned it last time.
And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that's what I'm going to hear.
I'm actually, as a Steel, I'm wearing the Steelers cap.
You are.
It's
a lot better than the Dragons one.
You want to cut that up? That's why I wore the Steelers hat.
I don't want to cut that one.
I didn't want a Dragons hat cut up.
I would not cut up a Steelers hat.
I think, Shinaz, that it is disappointing that this game isn't at Cogra, and I am a very big proponent of playing games in the Illawarra wearing the scarlet and white, but I think this would have...
Because why? Because of the meaningful history between Cronulla and St. George?
Yeah, big time. And I think, there'll be a good crowd down in Wollongong, don't get me wrong, but...
It should be pretty full.
I think, if not sold out, I think, by game day. But playing at Cogra, I would love to see this game at Allianz because I live 3 kilometres from the stadium, but also, too, just seeing what a derby like this with so much meaning can attract. Let's see if you can fill 42,000.
I really don't want to open the can of worms. All I'm saying is I know that in the last 2 years, or I guess actually it's a good example last year with the Roosters. We got to play here at Shark Park. But I know in 2022 there was a bit of a asterisk in the contracts and that kind of stuff saying if it's an out-of-town team, you can play at Shark Park. If it's something big, we'll probably take it somewhere else. Now, last year, as I said, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Roosters, Sharks at Shark Park week 1. I mean, we weren't going to take it to Allianz because that's their home ground, but they could have made us play somewhere else. They didn't. So maybe if it was Dragons, Sharks, Sharks, Dragons week 1, maybe we'd still be able to do it here. Hopefully that would be an option for the Sharks to make their choice. But that's interesting, Brooks. You say I hadn't considered that one, so that is interesting.
But yeah, it's going to be a big game. Like, top 4, top 8 on the line for both teams. Probably not our best 17s available, but a few interesting storylines with the players and the coaching staff.
Oh.
You know what the crazy is? It's not really a stat. It's just an observation.
Geographical stat.
The coaches. Like, if you looked at K's travelled for this game, Fitzy's got to I think he's just got one bus sort of thing, whereas Flano's going to have to get a bus to the train station, get the train down to Wollongong, and then get a bus down to Steelers Stadium. Wynn Stadium.
The ride down there on the train. Whew.
So it's an away game for the home coach and a home game for the home game for the away coach.
It is.
It's crazy.
But knowing Fitzy, he'll come up here at 4 a.m, start his prep, get on the team bus here with the boys. Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, Flano, of course, he's been a bit more chilled this week in his prep.
Got excited last game, didn't he? He was excited. He was like, I'm back, baby.
Was that when you conceded 50 points and he was like, I need the spotlight on me, not my crappy team? Hey, I'm going back to Shark Park.
He's probably been one of the better coach pressers this year. We know Ricky's it's an Olympic year. He's always on the podium, Ricky.
He's very angry.
Like, how many texters he's got, throwing shade at the referees.
He's always very proud of the boys.
Proud of the boys. He's always uses the pressers to, I don't care what happened on the field there with the officiating, but my boys did their job and always bang, which is great to see in a
Good
coach.
on him.
But yeah, Flano's been quite interesting this year. The way he's handled stuff. Last time I was here, I won a premiership,
That's
Look
right.
what happened.
That's right. He was, that's right. So
he's been pretty...
What did he say? He said something like, there was a headline, but I read it. It was like pretty deflating. It was like, I know who we're playing next week, and the headline went out, and I was like, that's all he said.
Yeah.
So he has
and
learned.
Probably, he sort of looked back on that week and went, probably might mix it up for the next one.
Yeah.
And play a bit low key.
Less about him.
It's hard too because the Dragons and Dragons fans will know this. We've alternated wins and losses for what feels like 9 seasons. It's been quite long, so I believe we're looking at a W week this week, Shinazzi. Are we?
Is that right?
Are we?
Who'd you lose to last week?
No, we won.
Hey.
Oh no, damn it, we got a loss. No,
Good
we beat the
news, Sharks
Titans.
fans. Good news.
But yeah, down there, back to the Gong.
I'll tell you what, being here in the flesh last week on Sunday, it was like being in the Gong. My hair was going all over the place in the wind.
Well, we both had that Sunday Arvo game where wind was a factor for both games.
Yeah, good warm-up.
In terms of the kicking game, like you saw it, it seemed like it strengthened for your game, Shinaz. And the kicking games could be important here. You've got Atkinson Trendle halves this week.
I can see them right now. I can see Talakai out there, but he's not named to play. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, he's sort of a player that we've had trouble with, Shinaz.
And he's been our best player all year.
Yeah, he's and fills in gaps, can get into the back row.
He has a minor calf injury, I believe.
You've got Jesse Ramian and Kale Iro in your centres.
Yes, so Iro's back,
Teague Wilton, Britton Nakura.
Wilton's back,
So
Trindle's back. There's a lot of guys coming back.
You find your bench, Jack Williams, Royce Hunt, Braden Hamlin, Ueli, Thomas Hazelton.
It's a good bench.
It's a bash-up bench, and we've reflected that with ours, with the Couchman brothers. Fantastic furniture. Fletch, we had Ryan on the show this week. So if you don't know, I produce a radio show on SEN called The Run Home with Joel Kane and Brian Fletcher. And we had Ryan Couchman, who scored last week against the Titans, and Fletch was trying to get Dragons fans to do a fantastic furniture sign for the Couchman brothers. So they're on the bench in jerseys 14 and 15. Bright.
You love a set of twins, don't you?
You've got two sets of twins in this game. And we did last week, Fiona and the Couchman brothers.
That was the joke we were supposed to say.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Another podcast.
Yeah, that was like, yeah. But Raymond Fatal and Mariner.
Yes.
I was just so into the game here, Shaz.
I know.
Being serious
Keep
for once
going,
in my
brother.
life.
Keep going.
So, yeah, bench is going to be, you guys rolled through the Titans 2 weeks ago. I think you've got that sort of...
I feel like our bench is a bit better than yours.
Yeah.
On paper, at least. I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday, but...
I think, this time next year, that could be a different question with these guys. I think the Couchman brothers are on the rise big time.
Now, as someone who watches every moment of every game for my job,
Yeah.
is there a better Couchman than the other, or are they both as good as each other? At the moment.
Toby's been given a bit more game time over the past few seasons. Toby was the Dragons' Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Emerging talent, I think they call it. I don't think...
Are they both middle forwards?
Both middles,
Yep.
yeah. I think sometimes they can go out to the edge, but more predominantly middles. But yeah, I loved last week, and this is probably going to be key this week with the way that Little and Brayley play, having that support option from a big, and that's what Toby did, scoring a try against the Titans in the first half, I believe it was, in that emphatic first half. Having that support, just being able to follow Little. He's going to have the same next year with Damien Cook, so there's going to be pretty much an intense 80 minutes from hooker for our boys. So Toby just running off the back, I thought that's such a good trait to have.
When was the last time we had Toby v. Toby?
Yeah, I know.
Can't recall one.
Probably...
Might be one for our
Toby
friend Aaron
Sexton?
Wallace.
Did you guys play the
Yeah,
Bulldogs
right.
a couple of weeks ago?
It sounded good when I said it.
That's all right, There's you might be able to
Talking
edit
middle
that out.
forwards.
Keep it in.
Middle
Yeah,
forwards.
so big game in the middle, Schnaz. I think
Yeah.
think that's the Dragons have sort of been dominated with some of the bigger teams. The Roosters.
It's all about your start, Brooksy. If you guys start well,
Yeah.
you're in it up to your eyeballs. If you don't start well, and we do, I think we could win and win, not crazily well, but just win. But I think if you start well, it's going to be a pretty tight contest.
What are a couple of things that you're looking out for the Sharks this week, Schnaz? Dragons, you could say they're a top 8 team, but, like I said, we've sort of gone in and out of the top 8 in the last
Sure.
couple of months. What do you want to see the team do and improve other than smash us as a Sharkies fan?
I think that they need to get the job done no matter what the circumstances. And they did that last week, and it was a bit tight there, but
Yeah.
they did it. And it's the same this week because it's all about the finals for me. We're rolling into the finals. We know we're going to be there. We don't know if we're going to be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th. It could be as dramatic as that. So it's up to them as a team just to sort of go, this is our time to shine. It's all about 2 points. Get it done and move on. I think good start is absolutely necessary, man. If we don't start well and we're chasing, we can chase. But I don't want to be doing that. And I don't think they want to be doing that. And I want to see really good ball control because this year it hasn't been amazing, but when it has been 85% and above, we win every time. So hold the ball, I reckon we win.
I saw the stats from a Gus Gould tweet. I saw the tweet because I'm not blocked, that the Sharkies are in the top 4 of defence and attack this year.
Yes.
I don't feel like that's been the case in previous seasons where you've either had a good attack or a average defence, or you've had an average attack and a very solid defence.
With Fitzy, there's been moments. So throughout 22, his first season,
Yeah.
and I'm not even making light of it, up until the finals, we were the best defensive team, and then we conceded 30 points in both finals games. So that was just a weird oddity that happened. But I understand what you're saying. At the moment, I think actually we're going better than maybe what the table suggests and what the general punter thinks. But I think we're actually travelling a bit better. We're, I think, 3 or 4 games in a row now of winning and back on track. That's with heaps of injuries. The amount of injuries, and they've barely had their top 17 together all year. So if that happens, second last round, go to the finals, happy days.
Let's give I want to give a few Sharkies a shout out. Kale Iro, who we talked about Val Holmes before. God, he feels like a 2.0 Val.
He does.
Watching him play, the way he moves with the ball.
Same hairstyle.
Just the same body shape. Probably not as big as Val, but
Not as quick.
He could definitely get there. And Daniel Atkinson.
Yeah, my man.
Remember, he was playing for Italy. He was
I remember.
barely getting a run for the Storm. Now he's a focal point.
He was train and trial starter last year.
Amazing story.
This is the question we're asking all week. What are you doing when Trindle and Hines are back? Where are you putting him? 6, 7, 14 or nowhere?
We had a similar chat last year where we had who was going to partner Hines, Moylan or Trindle.
Right.
And you were leaning towards Trindle.
Yes.
And he was doing some great stuff when he was coming off the bench or filling in, whether it be origin or injury. And you got a similar situation here with the rise of Daniel Atkinson. It's a tough one. I've heard people floating that maybe Nico's the guy that makes way, but you can't.
No.
You got to bring him straight back into the side.
Yes.
I would probably just... I know it's a tough one.
It's a massively tough
I'd probably
question.
go Atkinson.
See, I acknowledge that answer because he's the king of clutch.
Yeah.
Whenever we need something, he does it. We needed a goal from the sideline in Melbourne to stay alive. He got it. We needed a goal against the Knights to stay alive. He got it. We needed field goals against Melbourne Titans. He got it. He's barely missed a conversion. He scored the first try on the weekend. He had a try assist for the second try. He's not playing lights out for 80 minutes, but when you need him, man, he's there.
But if Hines is there, you don't need him playing lights out for 80 minutes. And what you were referring to with the clutch side of it, I think that will help Nico because of the pressure that he's had on being the man.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
If Atkinson can do that or create a diversion
Absolutely.
for Nico, that he can create those big moments, I think that's going to benefit Nico. And that's why I was going to lean towards Atkinson. You make a very good point. And
So the problem with that is Trindle's actually been playing really good.
But that's fine. You can, I think, with him having the ability to, this is Fitzy, be able to put both players in a position where they've got to perform at their best and be that, but not be the number one guy.
No.
Creates good competition, healthy competition within the club.
Do you make room to have one of them on the bench? Because at the moment we're rolling with 4 forwards and it's going pretty good. I kind of think that we do. And I lean towards Atkinson on the bench. And then when it comes to clutch time, you got the 3 of them out there. Your Dragons team doesn't know where they're looking.
No, I think 18th man. I thought about this because we sort of.
But then he doesn't get on.
We had but he comes on when you really need him.
Yeah, but that's when like some guys concussed.
Yeah, but that's what you want. This is why.
No, but I'm talking more. We needed 1 point. We don't need a 13th guy. We need 1 point.
But aren't you referring to the fact that you want, who's your 17? I'm playing what you're doing right now because that's the strength of the Sharks squad, that you've got the ability to put people in pretty much any position you want because of the way your roster's built.
Yeah.
So you've got people that can go back to fullback. You've got people that can go into the centres, on the wing, in the halves, in the back row, in the forwards, in the middles. At hooker, you've got versatility there.
I know. I agree.
You cover a lot of spots with the 17 that you can put out, your best 17.
But you just said 18.
That's why I'm putting Trindle at 18, because with your 17, you can pretty much cover any position when you select the right 17, which is very close to what you've got there today.
So do you think having all 3 of them on the field at once at 1 point to say he is my 17th guy and that he comes on, like say Atkinson or Trindle come on, they play in the middle lock position, do you think the 3 of them is too much of playmaking?
I feel it is, but I'm probably not best to answer that. It's something that Fitzy's going to have to work out and go, and we'll see in due course when Hines comes back.
I've said this during the week, and I have no intel at all, but I think he's leaning towards Trindle and Hines, which was his preferred pairing.
Trindle over Hines?
Sorry,
Atkinson.
Trindle and Hines together.
Trindle and Hines.
Yes, Atco out. Yeah, that's just an assumption.
Wow, I thought that you were just developing story.
No.
Dave Riccio.
We don't do this in that show anymore.
Sharkcast.
It didn't work for us so well in the first year. We'll see what happens. It's a good place to be in. It's a healthy place to be in when they're all back, so it's exciting.
Well, let's talk about my team now.
Oh, okay.
Our team. St. George Illawarra Dragons.
The People's team.
So, Tyrell Sloan.
Did you ask that guy to...
Yeah, there's a lot going on in Table 14. Man, they had a bit of a lunch, didn't they? Tyrell Sloan, like you guys... on the outside, Sharks fans yourself, what do you see in Tyrell? Because I see someone with massive potential and could be a massive game breaker down in the Gong on Sunday.
Yes.
But he does have his problems.
Thank you so much.
In terms of defence. Are you seeing this as an opportunity where it's an aerial raid?
I think given the conditions that may be happening, given it's so open and windy usually, I would not be afraid of doing that. Yeah. I was going to use the exact same word. I see potential. Like I thought he was a bit hard done by Flano by being dropped for a few weeks. I understood why, but you're not learning much in reserve grade, man. You got to learn when you're out there in NRL. And I think he's come back. He's looked pretty good. He's got some lapses, no doubt.
Yeah.
And I think the coach will be making the most of those. But I think next year, like, you know, you could choose Val, you could choose him. I think Sloan is obviously the way to go. It's a work in progress, man.
Yeah. He's done, like, this Sloan scenario where he dropped in for a week hasn't been the first time, and I don't think it'll be the last where he uses reserve grade for a week as a bit of a...
Yeah, he's old school.
A roundabout motivator.
He's old school.
He's done it with the Michaeli Ravaloa. He's done it with the Fionney brothers. He's done it with Jack Bird.
He did it with Chad Townsend mid-game in a finals game at Canberra.
Yes, I remember.
He's not afraid of the old hook.
Yeah, and I guess, yeah, there's only so much of that you can use. I think nowadays too, like it does... I think teams are quite tight-knit in terms of, you know, they spend so much time with each other, and it's you know, chat can happen, you know, like in terms of losing the sheds. I don't think Flano's at that stage yet, but it's interesting to see that he has used that a bit with Tyrell. Like, there was the game against the Broncos where, you know, it was a great win, but he pretty much let in 4 tries through his goal line defence.
Yeah.
Like, let's take one away from him. 3 is still tough. You're still winning the game, which is great. You're still getting the 2 points. But I think you look at what Flano, you guys know more so than I do, what Flano prides himself on is his defence and grinding out games and really owning the middle and stopping, you know, any attacking raid possible.
Yeah.
And having a fullback like Tyrell Sloan, who's probably 17th in terms of defence, but, you know, one of the top in terms of attacking flair and being able to create from nothing, he needs to just go, you know what, if I can turn him into a average defensive player, I've got myself a top 5 fullback.
And I think he will. I think he will turn him into that. Yeah.
It's great. Like, he's a local junior. I think you guys will see that it's potentially a place where you can win the game. But hopefully I see it as a place where we can win the game, where he's scoring a double, he's setting up a try,
man, if
he's helping Ben Hunt out.
If you have a scrum move 15, 20 out, I'm pretty worried if he's hanging around there, you know.
Outside looking in, Zach Lomax, last time we talked about Zach in the derby in June, we were talking about how injury-plagued he was. We're now talking about how origin fatigued he is, potentially. Like, what a season he's had. And so it's a massive loss for us.
We have some episodes coming out, Brookesy, along with this one at some point before the derby, and one is an interview with Jesse Ramian. And I said, brother, who are you marking? I think I know who you're marking, but can you confirm it? And he goes, yeah, Lomax. He's on my side. And I went, have you practiced your kick defence? And he's like, yeah, we've actually been doing a bit more this week. So hopefully Jesse and his winger will be ready for that, because the old kick to Lomax never fails.
That's something that...
never fails.
Yeah, you guys, the Sharkies aren't a very tall back 5.
Well, don't forget...
You got Mulatalo back fully fit, because he was a late inclusion last week, right?
Is he only on that team list? He is, isn't he?
No, you've got Kennedy,
he's concussed.
Stone Street,
well, Stone Street's
Ramian,
taller. You
Hero,
can see him out there.
And Mulatalo.
That's your boy right there, Stone Street.
Yeah, but it's not like you're not Roosters like.
No,
size.
but he's like, he's not short. Go to your heights and weights. Like, Stone Street's tall. I can't believe you.
No, I can't go there. Can't go there, girlfriend.
He's taller than Sione.
Okay, so
but I understand what you're saying. Jesse's tall.
That's a good inclusion, so that you've got some height there. But yeah, I don't think of Kennedy and Ramian and Euro as being tall guys.
Yeah.
And this, you watch. I implore you guys to watch Zach Lomax if he's up and about like he has been most of the season. How many runs he does, the kick chase from Zach Lomax has been amazing.
So I have prepped this game, Brooks, and Lomax and Ramian actually are like 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 for most run meters, especially for a back.
Yeah.
So they're I'm with you. Like, he's heavily involved. I'm not being a smart Alec. He's a great recruit, and I can't believe they let him go.
Oh, no, me
no,
too.
you know what? He found amazing form around that time,
Yeah.
but it's not like he was stinking it up before.
It's an interesting situation, isn't it? Like, you feel like Flano did the right thing, but the wrong thing at the same time, where you've empowered someone by putting him out of position, which what he did was say that you're probably not a centre. I think you can be a really good winger. He's, like, pretty much going to win Dally M Winger of the Year.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably him, Brian To'o. Let's put him on the Olympics podium again.
Yeah.
Olympic year. Like, he's going to go close, but you've made him think that I'm going to take less money so I can go play centre at Para. I wonder how he actually thinks now compared to when he signed. Like, if he feels like...
He's getting more money, though, isn't he?
No, I think he's getting less for the first 2 years,
okay.
and it jacks up. So
Sure.
I feel another junior that we've lost. We've lost a few juniors in the last 5 or so years.
He was being a bit of a brat, though. He was being a bit of a brat, reportedly.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but...
Yes, I understand that. And like I'm saying, I'm not like pointing fingers. I think the situation itself, how it's played out, has been disappointing, but great at the same time, because we've seen this season that Dragons fans, and I'm sure other fans, have seen in Zach that he could play like this.
Yeah.
He's had hand injuries. He's had a lot of injuries. He's been swapped around from centres. He had that flick pass. It was that was probably more so negative than positive. He slipped one last week, and I was like, "Oh, it's still there." But yeah, it's disappointing. He's going to be a factor on Sunday.
I'll tell you how the Sharks win. Shut down your boy Benny Hunt. Win the game. Most try assists. He's so involved in that team, like good and bad. Like, he lets in a few tries himself, but he's a very good player, and he's your go-to. He does everything. General kicks. Everything. Like, he's the man.
It's his game to own, isn't it? Like, that's the thing. You're at home. He's like you said, 30 tries to set up.
Assists, yeah.
You know, he's probably scored a handful as well. So he's been so important to the Dragons. There's been talk he wants to go to the Dolphins now. I think he's been rumoured with every Queensland team.
Is he signed up or not?
He's got 1 more year left.
Okay.
So, yeah, November 1.
Okay.
Open slather.
How long do you think a team like a Queensland team would sign him for? Like 2 years?
2.
Yeah.
I think
and he'd do the old, I want 3.
Yeah,
which he
do
has
your
every right
best,
to do.
You know, try and get as much as you can. If you look after yourself, I think I think if he looks after himself, he's got 3 in him.
What do you got your eye on?
Say
What's
something?
going on?
Yeah, Nico Hines in jersey number 7 doing some cross kicks. Is he a week away?
Our friend TK reckons he's a week away. I reckon he's Brookvale bound. But a lot of people are saying Warriors next week. I'll tell you what, I've been hanging out here like a bad smell all week, last few weeks, all year actually, and he's getting more active every day.
Yeah.
I'm noticing it.
The good sign is when he's not wearing the pink beanie, you know he's getting ready. Pink beanie means he's ball drills, standing in the coach's box. No beanie here, no beanie.
Every time he wears the beanie, our friend Barnsey and Ash have a meltdown in the store because they sell out of the beanie so quick.
Really?
True story.
Wow.
True story. Meltdown being positive, and also we need more beanies.
It's great because he looks good in blue, but he looks good in pink. He's one of those people that
the gentleman would look good in anything. I can
he's
tell you.
unisex, beautiful. You know,
he's a beautiful man.
He can bounce around.
He's a beautiful man.
Is that an issue? If I'm Braden Trindle and I'm wearing jersey number 7, and I'm seeing Nico Hines at training wearing jersey number 7, is this early warning signs? Do you have a little stinger for like a little warning signs? I
can make
segment?
one. Yeah.
Anyway,
there it is.
That was pretty good, just off the cuff, but. Yeah, that's good to see.
He's
if you're a
coming back.
Sharks fan,
He's coming back.
No, nothing around the legs, no strapping. No, he's in game day gear. Like, he's ready to go. If there was a game, if he could play NRLW, it looks like he would. And how good are the Sharkies going to NRLW?
Killing it. 4-0, killing it.
We've got a double header on Sunday, so they'll play after.
Yep.
Sunday Night Lights.
Good.
So who's Emma Tonagato starring? Former Dragon.
Playing well, but not starring because through injury she's only played, I think, 2 out of the 4 games. Quincy Dodd, hooker, outstanding. Yeah. Captain Penatani, outstanding.
Oh, one of the greats.
Lost the fullback for the year, ACL. Like there's been some
Jada Taylor?
There's been some injuries. So they've had a lot of adversity, but they're just really gritty performances. 4-0, couldn't be prouder of them. Great role models off the field, playing well on the field. Yeah, and I say this every time I say it. We've almost clinched the final spot. I'm not even joking, because it's. I know you're laughing, but
that's the beautiful thing about NRLW. Remember, there was a girl that got suspended in the first season. Missed 3 weeks. Pretty much was rubbed out for the season.
I know. So I'm not making light of it. It's actually a fact.
No.
We're almost this game's halfway.
It's growing. Next year, we're seeing the Warriors come back. The Bulldoggies, I think
ratings,
the Doggies.
Yeah, ratings through the roof. In all seriousness, so
Cowboys are moving to Cairns next year. So
Are
they're
they?
going to try and be more of a Cairns team rather than Townsville in terms of North Queensland, which is great. Which shows that there's other pockets that are probably outside the NRL realm that we could take teams and games to.
I'm looking forward to when there are enough players and enough just possibilities for us to have the 17, 18, however many teams we have at that point. Just have a full comp. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and a lot of rugby. Sevens, Olympians playing.
Yes.
You guys have got...
We picked up a couple...
Dominique Dutoit, I think, is playing this week.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but yeah.
I had a go. She's Zimbabwean born.
They've picked up 2 over the last couple of weeks. More, I think, due to injury and necessity.
Yeah.
But, slot straight in and really well-coached Tony Herman team. And, it's exciting times, man. They are almost the success story out of the 2 because Sharkies NRL going well, but NRLW, I think we thought they'd be successful, but 4-0 is awesome.
Yeah.
And the way they're doing it's really good.
Now, they've been fun to watch. They've been on the screens at SEN on the weekends, and I think your left winger score a hat-trick in the first game. I think at least a double. And the defence, you shut out the Cowboys one week.
First shutout of the NRLW Sharks.
There's a lot on the line on Sunday. It could be you could clean sweep us. We could clean sweep you and end the win streak.
Yeah.
We could end 2 win streaks. 8 in the Derby, 4 straight.
Yeah.
Did you knock over the Knights in the women's? They
4-0, baby.
10 straight.
4-0
at the start of the year. That's amazing.
Yeah. It was a real feel-good win on the weekend against the Knights. Premiers and they were outsiders, so they're going great, man. Can't talk enough about the NRLW. We had Tonagato on the show last week, a week before, and we're going to have some more coming up. So definitely right behind them.
Tiana's a good story. We did
remarkable.
a massive interview with her when I was at Fox.
Her backstory is ridiculous. Yeah.
And just the way she's succeeded, got through injuries, got through adversity.
Pure
just such
class,
a good
man.
face of the game, the women's game, and rugby league in general, and has achieved quite a bit.
On air, on Fox, kills it.
On air, yeah.
Destroys.
Doing stuff, worked on numerous shows on other stations as well. She was doing Rugby Sevens commentary as well, travelling around the world doing that, whilst trying to navigate her career in rugby and league. Amazing story and a great human. And
yeah.
It's good. That's why it's great that I think rugby league, and we saw it on Wednesday night with the Hall of Fame stuff. We're not doing things just to say, hey, this is what we're doing. We are legitimately interested in growing certain parts of rugby league, with the women's game in particular, for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Because it gives young girls an opportunity to aspire to do something with their sporting careers. Like when we were growing up, our girlfriends didn't have anything like this.
No.
And would never, I remember, a lot of them would never, ever consider playing rugby league.
Yeah.
Growing up on the Northern Beaches, the girls just were, playing netball. That was the thing that you could do.
That was the times,
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Now it's options are unlimited.
It's
awesome.
awesome.
It's great. We saw the rise of the Matildas. We're seeing the rise of NRLW. We got them playing the derby, double-headed derbies. That's what we want.
Absolutely.
We want to be doing, 50-50 podcast, Naz, talking about the games, and we're not far away from that.
I think we'll get there. I really do.
It's awesome.
We're trying our best, but the other thing is I've been really careful about not trying to be an NRLW expert. I work on it at Fox. I have probably more knowledge than I ever thought I would have on it at this point, a couple of seasons in for the Sharks. But I'm also not going to claim to be like my colleague, your friend, John O'Coxon, expert. Loves it. Absolutely.
Wow.
He's your go-to guy. And many men and women especially women, are experts at that field. I'm working my way up.
Yeah.
But I don't want to BS our audience by going, here's 4 hours on NRLW when
Yeah.
I can't talk about that,
Yeah.
but I'm getting there. I'll get there, and you will have 4 hour episodes coming up. But you know what I mean? Like I'm such a fan of the competition and our team. So proud of our team.
Yeah.
Having Penatani as our captain, dude. Like,
Yeah.
immense. And then I look at our men's captain, and I'm not rubbing this into you, Cam McInnes.
Oh, yeah.
What a human being! Like, great footballer, amazing human being.
Yeah. He's been a great get for you guys, and we've seen that over this season, like the ability for him to come in and you lost Dale Finucane, which
Yeah.
was a big leader. You lost Wade Graham as well in recent seasons. Like, you've lost a lot of leadership. And that just, I understand the circumstances around the Cam McInnes decision for the Dragons.
I can't.
I understand it. I don't agree with it.
I can't understand it.
It was, but yeah, I think because of the whole nature of losing McGregor and bringing in Griffin and Cam being a big Mary guy,
No.
that would have been a massive part of what Griffin was trying to do.
Having studied McInnes since he signed on with us, week in, week out, interviewing him once a month, there is no way that guy would not give his heart and soul for whoever
Yeah,
was coaching.
That's true. But no, I'm
Like, he's not a political dude.
No, I understand it, but it was a massive mistake.
Yes.
That's what I was sort of alluding to, because I loved the fact that he wore our jerseys. I'm sure South fans are still going, why will we lose this junior?
Yeah. Yeah, the
And-
way he plays is just, it's not unique, but it's old school, and you don't get enough of those guys. Like, when I interview him, I'm ready to, like, go play. Like, he's just so serious about his job.
And it's like come full circle, because like this whole hooker situation, the Dragons are now bringing Damien Cook, the guy that South Sydney
Who's great.
signed and theoretically lost McInnes for, and we now have lost McInnes and we've tried to replace him, and we've eventually got Damien Cook to replace him. Like, that's so rugby league.
It is.
And that's where we're at. And I would love for him to have played out his career in the Red V and occasionally in the Scarlet and White.
Now, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but had he signed with us, then he did his knee, or did he do his knee, then he signed with us? Do you know?
No, he'd signed,
And then did his knee.
did his knee.
Gotcha.
He had one more year left on his contract.
Yep.
The Dragons let him go to Cronulla, so he did his rehab with Cronulla, because it was like, look,
I remember that, yep.
you won't be able to play for us with the diagnosis. You may as well, I think, and both teams agreed that it's probably in his better interest to do the rehab with Cronulla, because his next...
It's just one of those signings, and there's guys throughout the year, throughout eras at both our clubs who you would be like, I can't believe we let him go.
Yeah.
And he's one of them. Like, I can't believe anyone would let him go. Like, if someone came to us now and went, we'll give you $2 million for this guy, you'd be like, I don't want to lose him. Like, you can't replace him. That sort of player and role model is just irreplaceable.
We're still trying to find that guy, I feel.
Yeah.
Like that guy in the forward
I think
pack.
Flano will find him, whoever it is.
Yeah. Cook and Holmes, it's great. I've been screaming for decent name signings.
Yeah.
I know, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here to players that have come and done a really good job. Like Tom Eisenhuth, let's say, like, I was like, what?
He's a workhorse.
Like, we need as fans, we need big names. We are struggling for crowds. I'm sure Dragons memberships could be a lot higher than where they are. It's because they haven't brought in the stars since Widdop and Hunt. And we've lost a lot throughout. We've lost Frizzell. We lost McInnes. Like, we lost other players who have been just let go to Super League.
See, I unless it was a huge money differential, I don't know how you lose a Frizzell. Like, it's just bad management. Unless it was like, no, it's double the price or whatever.
I have the feeling that it's the plethora of off-field incidents that the Dragons have sustained since 2018
Yeah.
that has caused
There was that rumour,
a
that
massive
Frizzell wanted out.
issue
Yeah.
within the club. And, we're finally starting to poke through it 6-7 years later.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it was like we saw the... look, I don't want to bring this up. I know it's a Sharks podcast, but we saw the Trindle incident.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like, gosh, thank goodness it's not a Dragons player.
Everyone has that reaction, yeah.
Because it was like every year we've had something.
And we were in shock because it was like, that doesn't happen here anymore.
Yeah. I thought that was well handled, by the way.
It was by Sharks and NRL. Like, definitely, they acknowledged it. He was definitely punished. He was definitely helped with rehab.
Yeah.
And he came back better, and I'm imagining he will learn from it. You've got to prove that, of course, but I'm hoping that'll be the case. He did his time. NRL didn't come over the top and go, no, he needs like 10 more weeks.
Went through the process.
Without
judging
and
fully.
I have to give credit to Dino Mesatesta and Craig Fitzgibbon and people around them, but they were on the front foot. They were like, Nico's sort of injury bound. That's not the reason they were on the front foot, but they were like, we need this guy to play for us. How can we get him to play for us? By being respectful to all parties.
Yep.
And the NRL went, this is what you got to do. They were on the front foot straight away. There was 1 week where they named him when things were a bit uncertain. They went, Trindle 21. And there was some story, which I'm going to get in trouble for saying very loosely about, but it was something like, it was just light and shade. It was like, we want that team to think he's playing. He's not playing. And they made the NRL aware of it. They knew about it. And they went, okay, whatever. Which is surprising. I thought they'd go, no, don't do that. But, at the moment, both of our clubs, I feel like, are in just such better places. I mean, my club's been fine since Flano sort of came back, 2015 and on.
Yeah.
And your club, under him, and I guess, a little bit of new admin behind the scenes?
Little bit, not too much has changed.
Maybe board members or something, but yeah, you guys had a bad patch for a while, man.
Yeah. And I think this is the thing. If both our clubs are doing well, and this is a biased take from our perspective, when the derbies are flying, absolutely flying, it's great. You guys for you guys, you've won the last 8, but if we can steal a couple and it go a bit back and forth, it's gonna this derby will be one of the bigger ones. And
it's always fun. It's more fun, and I'm saying this in all seriousness, because there's so many ways you can go with this statement, but it's more fun for me and for fans when there is neck-and-neck rivalry, when it is 5th versus 4th or whatever. It actually means a lot more. The crowds are bigger. It's better intensity at the games, and the players feel it more. And we're getting there. If it's not this one, it might be the next one.
We need some finals. I know it
hasn't been that many.
99 was an event I went to
this episode is now over.
As a newly dragon, we merged. I wasn't a fan early on. It didn't feel right, and I'm sure it didn't feel right for St George fans. That run, that game out at Homebush, 50,000 out there.
Yeah.
And that's what
we want to get to.
Imagine now.
Yeah.
I think we're getting 60s. For those, if we met in a prelim,
for sure.
I'd be happy to fill out Allianz, because 42 there feels like 84.
They would sell that out,
and it would be amazing with the red and the blue.
Especially when you if say for example it was next year, or if you want to dream, we'll say it was this year. Say it's this year. Prelim.
Let's say we're moving 5v8 or 6v7.
No. Say we're going to the prelim.
All right, we're going prelim. Beautiful.
I don't know how we got there, but we're there. SFS. You guys will be so hungry because you've had a bad run.
Yeah.
You're going to have 30,000 there no matter what.
Yeah, and we've conceded 50, so we can't win the premiership.
Oh, well.
We conceded 60.
And the Sharks fans will be there because Sharks fans love a final. So you might want to take it to Homebush to get everyone there. But even just here at Shark Park, the smallest venue out of all the home grounds, in general, but also between our clubs. Just the feel here when it's really packed and you don't know what the result's going to be. Lately, we sort of had a good feeling, especially the home team. So we're playing you guys here. I have a strong feeling we're going to win. When it's not like that, when it's very competitive, go back to your Mark Gasnier days or whatever.
Yeah.
You were kind of on edge. It's I really want to win this.
Yeah.
There's all these people here. And
big time. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, Shinazzi.
This one's got a feel to it, which is good, because it hasn't been like that for a while. It's a 4:00 game. There's been a lot of media focus on it from the general NRL world, which is cool. And hopefully the boys from both teams put on a good show.
We've sort of been blessed, haven't we, with the schedule? It hasn't been I think last time it was a bit of a derby round, where there was a lot of focus on different games as well. This week we've got a big game over in New Zealand for Sean Johnson's
big
farewell.
Occasion,
and it's Bulldogs too, who are probably the hottest team in the league right now. But other than that, you've got pretty much one-sided matchups Well, we thought that on Thursday night, but Manly, wow.
They did
Good for
my
you.
team a favour. I don't know about your team.
Did us a favour too, technically. Manly lose out, we can pass them, I think. But, yeah, it's a big occasion. It finishes off round 25, down at the Gong. I'm tipping your Dragons win, Shinaz. And I'm not, let me take my...
It's not a crazy idea.
Let me take my Steelers thong off and put my neutral pants on. You know that's a reference from Arrested Development.
I do.
From Tobias Funke.
I do.
Anyway, I think close game. I think Dragons win it. I think there's something going on down in these Wynn Stadium games. Apart from that Panthers demolish, where the Panthers demolished us. It's gonna be low scoring, like
Is
most
it?
of them are.
Yeah, okay.
I think we just win the arm wrestle.
The Flano arm wrestle.
Yeah.
If you can do the Flano arm wrestle against the Sharks, it could be a huge turning point under him and for the rest of your season, because that's how you got to play.
Is it sort of a good thing for us winning this? I feel like Flano's going to celebrate like it's 1999 as a Dragons coach, you know.
Someone get me, hey Shinaz, give me a jersey. Get out of here, Flano. I know this. I know how this goes, Flano.
Oh, where's that jumper? I need some scissors.
I don't think it's crazy. You think they're going to win? I don't know about low scoring or not. Our defense has been pretty good the last month. I'm not being smart. Remind me, you've had 1 week on, 1 week off, sort of good defense.
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you know how to do it. I think, I think as much as it is, forwards game or whatever, I think that maybe the back five are going to decide it, because there's a lot of skill in both back fives.
Yeah.
Particularly on their day. Like if Sloan has a good day out, I hope that obviously the Sharks win. I hope it's a great spectacle. I feel like it will be. When there's a lot of hype over a game, sometimes it can just go pear-shaped. You know that as a former TV producer. Like you got the game in the round and you're hyping it up and it's just like this bludger of a game.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of feeling in this one, and spoken to the players here during the week, and I always sort of try and rev them up. I'm like, it's Derby week, come on,
Yeah.
And then I used to get the old, it's another game for us, and it would be kind of heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
But under Fitzgibbon especially, he's brought in a bit of feel to each game, and he loves storylines. Fitzy is the deepest thinker in the league that I've come across personally. I know there's deeper thinkers. Any more food for you, Brooksy? You got the...
Yeah, one last.
Yeah, let's go. What are we going to
get?
Brooksy's choice.
Yeah. No, the prawn. Is that this one? Yeah. We'll get that one. No, do you want a beef one?
The beef, the barbecue pork beef, the corn rice noodle,
Can we get the beef in this?
the beef, yes.
Golden Bay.
Golden Bay,
Very
the place
good.
to be.
This won't be the last time I come here.
Barbecue rice noodle, the
Bit of a lull on the
Is that the beef
podcast
one?
there.
barbecue pork.
No, beef. Oh, you don't have beef. We'll go prawn, if no beef. Yeah, we'll go prawn if no beef, yeah. No beef. We'll go prawn. Prawn, please. Thank you. Do
Thanks so much.
you have any chili sauce?
Yes.
Please? Oh, scissors.
This is amazing. Thank you so much.
I didn't realise, so when we first had it, they cut one of the three. I didn't realise it was to balance up the order. So
One
chili sauce, yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking
So
about.
you understand, there's three parts, right?
Yes.
Usually with the serving.
Yes.
One of the parts is cut in half.
Right.
So that you can have 1.5 and I can have 1.5. But I ate the two halves. Which is
gotcha.
really bad yum char etiquette.
I gotcha.
Because then
But I
who's going
think
to
I
have
made
the
it.
other two?
I think I made it up with the spring rolls or whatever. so
Yeah,
that's
we
all good.
balanced it out eventually, but it was rude of me to eat the cut one, because that's usually the one you share, so that you can then have a full one each.
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I'm going wide here.
Yeah,
but
go. Oh,
on Monday mornings, early Monday mornings, my friend Kieran and I, we do an episode on Sharkcast called Catching Up with Kieran Over Coffee.
Oh, yeah.
And it came out of the basis that we used to
sounds
meet...
like Jerry Seinfeld's
It
show.
does. It does. He's a big Seinfeld guy. We used to meet once a week just to catch up on footy and life, and it was just an amazing conversation. He's an amazing guy, a good friend of mine. And I was like, this is the episode right here.
Yep.
And then so I made him do a podcast every morning this year, every Monday morning. And I wanted it to be like this.
Beautiful.
Thanks so much.
Wow, that's good coverage.
I was like, we'll sit around, we'll talk about bagels, we'll talk about Curb, we'll mention the Sharks. That's the episode.
Good man.
It's a lighter episode. Now, all we do is talk about the Sharks. We talk a little bit of other stuff. We do random Shark of the Week, where I go appearances for Sharks reverse. So instead of 348 for Gal, I start at 1, and it's random Shark of the Week, and I have to give him hints on what they've done, and he usually gets them. Last week he didn't get Panani Manu Maliki.
Oh,
didn't get him. Anyway, point is, I wanted to do a lighter podcast.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is the show. So I know Kieran's listening to this. Kieran, we've got to come. Actually, you know what? He's going to be so filthy because he wants to come here and hang out and do this as well. Not so much Derby week. Oh, jeez. That's a lot of chili, dude. Brooksy just dumped the dumpling in the chili. Anyway, I'm just ranting about my friend Kieran. But sometimes podcasts can be light.
Like we're on a date and you're talking about your ex. I'm like, yeah, Kieran sounds like a real good dude. Hey, do you want to go back to mine?
Oh, jeez.
That's not what I normally do, by the way.
The Quest Hotel's right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did I catch someone? You can see sort of the Quest rooms. It's sort of interesting. Every time the ball goes down the south end.
Get out of here,
what's
Brooksy,
going on in
with
the
your
hotel?
You gutter mouth, you gutter mind.
No, I didn't go there, but
people are out in the balcony having a look.
I keep an eye out and see what's going on in the hotel rooms. You never know what you can see.
Yeah, this dumpling is extremely hard to manifest.
Manifest. Democracy manifest. Oh, how about that news during the...
That's a lot of chili, dude. But I'm going to do my best.
It's like a little pancakey situation.
It is. There we go. Beautiful. Anyway, back to Derby.
Yeah, Derby.
Ricky Walford was some
Ricky
player.
Walford, yeah.
Tell me some of your favourite Derby moments.
Oh, the lady lining up for the Red Rooster was pretty funny.
What else?
99. Got to be one of them.
Yep.
If not the old second half, down 8-0 at half time. He was 24-8.
Backflip here, backflip there, front flip.
What else? Well, it hasn't last 4 years, Shinazzi. Been all you guys. Hard to think.
But give me moments. Like I'll say Fafita in Wollongong.
Yeah.
That great set of 6 was it 2012 maybe, with the best set of 6 of all time over here. Things like that. Anything sticking out for you?
99's the biggest for me.
Sure.
Like it is. I'm sorry,
Sure.
but
No,
it is. A prelim, like it doesn't get much better than that.
Amazing, yeah.
I think Sunday's going to be...
Could be a moment.
It could be one of the bigger moments. There's a lot to play for, and like you said, like the last few years, it hasn't really been like this. I think this is one of the big Derby moments in
I
recent
thought
memory.
the one earlier this year was pretty average. Like we won 2010.
Yeah.
There was nothing really redeeming about it. As I try and battle this dumpling. Slippery sucker.
I wonder
Let's
how
go.
this is going to come up to listen.
Messi?
Yeah, Lionel.
We did get some mail as we were doing the episode.
Oh, yeah, I've got mail too. Oh, you go to your mail first. Mine
Sure.
might not be related to Sharks Dragons.
Probably
though.
isn't. Johnny on YouTube has given us his team, so to speak. So we're talking all week about who you'd pick. He's gone Trindle 6, Hines 7. Kafusi and Rudolph are his props. Nikora Talakai, second row, so no Wilton. And McInnes, his bench is Atkinson, Williams, Hunt, and Wilton. Wilton plays in the middle, only goes to the edge if Siffer gets injured. Atco can play lock in the middle, help Brayley out during sets, speeds up the ruck with support play and dummy half runs. You need Atco there to cover Nico and Tricky coming back from injuries, which is a great point.
Yeah.
Like, what if one of them gets hurt from their hamstring calf business? I mean, you can go back to your Brayley at half, McInnes, etc. This is the fallback. But having Atco there, which is where I've got him on my bench, that's from Johnny anyway. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it makes sense. But that's where, like, if you've got Atkinson there in the first place, you're not, unless something unfortunate happens, then that you've got a scenario. Whereas you're not, like, putting someone who might not be 100%, like a full halves combination that's coming back from injury. You've at least got a solid, a guy that's been there through the last few weeks that can ride his good form and stay there. Like, it is a tough one. I don't think you can... I don't think you really lose too much going either way.
Yeah, sure.
And that probably makes the situation even harder and the decision harder.
What's your mail?
Earthquake in New South Wales.
Really?
Yeah.
Serious one or?
Can you remember the Newcastle one?
Yeah.
No. But
Not seriously.
yeah, that was a long time ago.
What's this one?
It was
Breaking news.
5.0.
That's something. Whereabouts?
Wild. It was Sydney.
Whereabouts?
My apartment just moved, is the quote. Looks like it's in the Hunter region. Yeah, northwest of Newcastle.
Oh, back in Newcastle. Bad memories, huh?
Yeah, Denman. In the upper Hunter region, about 135 k's from Newcastle.
I know someone, a guy called Tim from there, actually.
Just after 12 p.m. on Friday, reports reported feeling shakes from Port Macquarie down to Wollongong.
Oh.
1,600 people recorded it with Geoscience Australia. My apartment just moved.
Where?
Wall-mounted TV was shaking as was the bed I was sitting on. Wild. There is no tsunami threat in Australia. The bomb confirmed.
Where? Or what time was it?
Around 12 o'clock.
Did we feel it?
We did sit down at that time, Shinazzi. So who knows? We might need to eat a few less dumplings going forward.
Hey.
Remember,
no judgment
remember
here.
my man Mosh? Let's divert to NFL. The Beastquake.
Yeah.
Registered seismic activity out of Seattle from him scoring a touchdown. Like 75,000, jumping up after a massive run. Do you reckon 873 Sharks fans cheering a Daniel Atkinson field goal would register?
I got to tell you, it felt pretty good.
Yeah.
It felt pretty good. Love Golden Point. What a great thing. We've had some great times down here, Brooksy. I mean, you've been here for work as well as a fan. Occasionally come down for the random game. Do you have any memories, aside from the Red Rooster, that stick out here for you? In all seriousness, anything?
Yeah, I nearly fell into the swamp when I was going back to the commentary box.
I really set myself up there.
Catching a glimpse on room number 302. That was a highlight a couple of weeks ago in the coverage.
Do you want to take us away from this place?
It's a tough one. I think you should, because you're so far away from the centre of Sydney.
Yeah.
I think there is reason that you should play home games here.
Yeah.
But I did think of a controversial theory around the stadiums earlier in the year.
Let's go.
And I don't know. Like, I feel that we need to keep the heritage of such places as Wynn Stadium, Leichhardt, Shark Park, Brookes. But I think we need to sort of devise some sort of plan as to what happens. And look, you guys own this place, right? The Sharks control
the
what
mango
goes on
pancake,
here.
Brooksy.
Speaking of control,
The mango is it mango pancake?
Do you like the mango pancake?
It's pretty killer, bro.
Okay, let's get one.
We'll get. Yeah.
We'll share one.
Thank you. Yeah, you'll love this.
Yeah.
We might just go one. No, it's fine. Yeah, thank you so much.
Shinazzi is just going to throw it down in its entirety.
It's the second time you've judged me and my body in the last minute or two. Thank you so much.
Well, I've got to do the same too.
It's killer, bro.
Yeah, it looks good.
But you got to have the dumpling first. That's yours. That's your guy.
I think I did say for the Sharks need to play at Allianz. It's tough. No, but if you guys did this up right, I'd have no problems with you playing. In its current form, I think it's a New South Wales Cup stadium.
If we turn this into what Brookes is now, would you be cool with that?
I actually like this spring carnival, like what do you call it?
Do you know what that is?
Oh, is it an extension of Club 67? Is it Club 76? I know
that's
you're
where
1967.
That's where the former PM goes.
Oh, really? ScoMo.
There's not a lot you can see from there. So full credit to the club for doing their best because they literally ran out of space. So they built this thing where the corporates can go and be wined and dine. It's fine. There's TVs in there and everything. It's quite nice. But as a viewing spectacle, you've only got one half of the field.
Yeah, I think that's the...
So you got to get rid of that eventually.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, we'll have corporates up here. When the Leagues Club's going, the Pete Burns stand is opened up fully, etc. So that will probably go away, and the corporates will be wined and dine properly.
I actually like that sort of vibe behind the stands. I think Go Media Stadium does it too. They've got a few little spots like that. Yep. I think there's definitely potential here with the place. And look, you guys are selling out, and it's great. That's great to have. But I want to see 18,000 people here, Shinazzi. I want to see 20,000 people.
Running out of room, Brooksy.
That's right. You've squeezed yourselves in here, haven't you? Like we're pretty much eating grass if we need to. Like if the chart.
The great Dino Mezzatesta says maybe around 18th hour when we're.
That's fine.
And so yeah,
I'll allow it.
I don't know where
I'll redraft my tweet.
I don't know where he's finding it, but that's what he's saying. So we've got to stick to what he's saying for now, and hopefully we get to that at some point. But
I think you need a balance of getting families. Anyone can attend certain parts of the ground, but you need those corporate areas to be humming.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the importance of money coming in. I know the league's growing. There's part of me that hurts just seeing that you guys can only get, is it 13,000?
Yeah.
Maybe not even, like 12,000 people to this ground. Because my best memories of here, Schnaz, is Caltex Field, Ronson Oval packed.
Yeah.
You know, for big games, seeing some of those games in the 2000s when you guys were flying, we're seeing this place packed. Just even here where we are, there was people just standing up
Beer
here.
Hill, yeah.
You know, the whole Spirit Fingers, Lukey Cavell, all the people that have kicking goals, seeing that vibe when you get that epic, like Friday night, Sunday Arvo down here.
Yeah.
And I feel you've lost that over the last few years. Like, it does look all right with 11-12, and it has sounded pretty good in some matches.
It was interesting for the Roosters game last year, Brooksy, so for the finals game.
Yeah.
And they had probably, I'm just guessing here, but they would have had at least 35% patronage. It might have been 60-40. Like, it was... Yeah, it wasn't like, 100% Sharks. Like, there were Chooks fans here. Maybe it was 70-30. Maybe my memory's not as good. But it was noticeable to sort of have those fans so vocal. And maybe if there was 6,000 more people here of Sharks fans, they might have drowned them out or they might have booed them. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But it was noticeable in that finals game where it was a little bit more neutral, a little bit more, that the home ground effect wasn't quite what we'd hoped it was going to be.
The smaller ground, the bigger percentage of away fans, right? I know it's not massive, but in finals games, it's not necessarily controlled by Cronulla, right?
Not at all.
It's NRL controlled, so the away team needs a certain amount of tickets. So that might have been a detriment. And ironically, like if you took the game to Allianz, you probably would have been 50-50 there anyway. Like
maybe,
even more.
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
And more, but... Look, I totally understand when teams make decisions like that. The Dragons kept the game against the Bulldogs at Cogra. They probably could have got 50,000 out at Homebush for that game.
I think it's one of those, for me, it's one of those things, Brooksy, it's such a simple idea. It's like, we are Cronulla. We play almost in Cronulla.
Yeah.
We're in Woolooware. If we go play in Parramatta every second week,
it's not going to work.
You're losing it, bro.
And that's where, so
there's got to be if we can't have all of this here in this beautiful area, then do something else. But it can't be as simple as like, we're going to go over to Parramatta or Allianz and play there. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work.
Like, what I said, I believe in. I believe that should be a longer strategy, a bigger strategy to grow the game. But when you look at Cronulla, you've got to look at it through a different lens. You've got to understand that this team is very much a Shire team.
Yeah.
You don't have many fans. Like, yes, people have moved out of the Shire and lived in other places.
Oh, there's fans all over the place, but the people from the Shire are not going to go to those places.
The Sharks exist because of its parochialness of the area.
Yeah.
It's not like South Sydney that have moved out.
Yeah.
Because their aim when coming back into the competition was to grow that fan base.
And they did.
We're not going to survive being a Redfern Oval-based team.
Yeah.
We're going to play at a core. We're going to try and spread our membership out to Western Sydney where it's growing. The Rabbitohs brand has been well marketed. The Sharkies can do the same thing, right? They've got the Shark.
Yep.
We've got people that have come and gone from the Shire, but we want to pack this 15, 18,000 seats with locals. We want it to be a local club, a locally owned ground. The ground is owned by the team.
Yep.
The ground is for the area and the people that live here. We want it blue. We want blue seats. We want it. We don't want Roosters fans coming in and ruining our vibe. We want it to be, you guys get that little spot down there in the corner. We're going to own the 98.9% of the stadium. And hopefully the Sharkies can get there to a stage where it's going to be full. It's going to be 18,000. It's going to be a parochial place for the opposition to come into.
A lot of people are looking forward to the club being opened. We're not sure when it's going to be. It might be sometime next year. It's been a long wait. The club at Cronulla is killing it. It's a really great place. It makes really good money based on the fact that it's the golf club, plus also it's now Sharks Club as well. So it does really well. It's a great place. It's a little bit out of the way in the sense of it's like a 20-minute drive from different parts of the Shire.
Yeah.
So it's not hours away, but it's also like not in the heart, so to speak. But that's not a negative. That's just a difference of what we're used to. When this place is open, so a second club, we're still going to own that one. I think you'll have so much more game day kind of activity, and it'll be a central hub. At the moment, some of myself and other people, we go to the Herringmans, which is just over there.
Yeah.
They're not a sponsor of the show. We can just say it's a great place to be, but it's a tiny little brewery.
Yeah.
They're at capacity a lot of the time. It's incredible. They do a great game day job. I love going there. In a lot of ways, I don't want to not go there when this place is open.
Yeah.
But this place will be full of Sharks fans. Game day. You remember what it was like when the old club was here? It was fun. Like we'll meet you there before, meet you there after. When that's happening, hopefully there's more people able to get into the ground. A general excitement will then build compared to what's happening this year.
Well, it's exciting times. I think that's the thing. There's potential here, and it's if the game's growing, the TV deal's up soon, so more money will probably be pumped into the teams. We've got Albo wanting to set up a team over in Papua New Guinea, which means there's going to be rumoured to be $600 million for 10 years being pumped into the game in Papua New Guinea, but a lot of that money is going to come to the NRL as well. So, and we know that the teams get grants.
600 extra million?
The whole idea is being able to. Well, let me. I think it's a bit ridiculous me surmising this whole thing in 10 seconds, but I'm going to give it my best. 10-year deal, $600 million is going to be pumped into the NRL to keep this team in Papua New Guinea sustainable. After 10 years, there'll be no more money coming in. Okay. But the benefit is having an extra team, which means at least an extra game or two. Yeah. Which will mean more TV dollars, more money coming into the clubs. It's probably not going to mean more games, which is good. Yeah. But at the same time, the clubs will get a bit of a financial boost, a salary cap increase for players. It feels all good things, but hey, there's probably some knocks on the idea as well. But you can't knock back $600 million, can you?
How long am I in a plane going to that area of the world? Like, how long does it take to get there?
Well, I don't think you're going to get many away fans travelling to PNG, Shinaz.
So if I'm going there as a player, how long does it take? Do we know?
I would suggest it's probably an extra 90 minutes to 2 hours from Townsville.
Okay. So
but that's
3-4 hours, maybe. Nothing crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
How would you do it? Would you have this? Would you have them here for like 2 or 3 weeks, or would you make them travel every second week, or what?
What, you're talking like Toronto Wolfpack, where they were playing?
I'm asking.
In winter, they were playing in England, and then when it warmed up, they were playing games in Toronto.
I think that they're going to be a club that needs special,
circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. So
there's talk about using Cairns as a hub, and that might be a reason why the Cowboys are moving the NRLW side there to maybe get a bit of a ball rolling with Cairns.
So to live in Cairns, then play in Port Moresby?
There might be, or live in Port. There's talk of living in Port Moresby in a gated community scenario. It's a wild idea.
It is wild.
It's a situation where I don't know. I'd be more inclined to take a team to New Zealand, a second team to New Zealand.
Yeah. I haven't studied old mate NRL CEO's life or anything. I know he's very successful.
Abdo?
No, the fella above him.
Peter V'landys.
Peter V'landys. I know he's very successful. Brooksy, mango pancake. First reaction? It's pretty good, eh?
Hectic.
Pretty good, yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
I haven't studied his life work, but I know he's very successful at what he does. But all that's happening under him is change and growth.
Diversifying trots, racing, NRL.
Yeah.
Coming up with some out there ideas to grow.
He seems open-minded about things.
Yeah, horse racing's in Sydney is nearly on par with Melbourne.
Right.
And what they've smartly done is utilise what Spring Carnival does down there and go, you know what, we're going to put some races on in between your races. Because people are so interested in racing at this time that why can't we in that 40 minutes between each races, 35 minutes between each races, put something on in Randwick and Rosehill. I think he's done a good job, and I think that's what he's sort of trying to do with the NRL. Like, why can't we be in Vegas to start the year?
Well, he was featured heavily in the Vegas documentary. Obviously, it was on Fox and KO, and they had the shots of him getting selfies with the fans. The fans were just so appreciative of them taking the game there for whatever reason. I don't know if they were locals or if they just loved to travel to Vegas. I don't know what the story was, but yeah, as someone who, as I said, hasn't studied his life, he seems like a guy that's really a go-get-'em kind of guy.
Been privy to a few stories of how Vegas all came together, and they were probably talked about in the documentary, but he's been very good at, cutting costs, utilising what already happening, let's say a flight costs this much. How do we lower that bottom line?
Yeah.
And we've got to rent this stadium out. It's costing us this much. Oh, maybe we can get the Super League and International Rugby League to take a cut of that and play a game there to promote their leagues.
Based on what we saw this year and with the Sharkies going there next year, so it's topical, I think it's the right move. Like me, myself, I'm not going to probably be in that stadium for all 4 games, just knowing how I am.
Yep.
But I think it's a great idea, and there'll be a lot of people who will be. They'll love it, and it brings in so many different people. You've got the English fans, Super League fans, you've got the women's test, and then you've got the 4 NRL teams. Like, it's a genius move.
Day of the game in Vegas, it was quite windy.
Yes.
Got up to like 100 k's an hour and cold. So if they get a decent day and it enables them to do what they were sort of planning to do at the doubleheader, so they were trying to do a bit more tailgate sort of stuff that got cancelled on the day. If you can do that sort of stuff and you're allowed to go in and out, utilise the facilities around, like the stadium, there's not much around the stadium.
Yeah.
But would you call it the forecourt, I guess, of the stadium? Around the stadium, there's a lot of area to be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
You can do it on the concourse in the stadium.
I've heard that
it's
too,
quite big.
Yeah.
And where I was, it was so much fun up there. Like, it was just, it was amazing to see the faces and talk to the people that had no idea of what rugby league was.
Tell everyone, we're going to wrap this up, but tell everyone about the fella you met. What was that story you had? You told me you met a guy. Was it at the stadium?
Oh, the Ukrainian?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Tell us that story.
Vlad.
Thank you very much.
I was going over to where everyone from Fox was staying to go catch up with a few friends and
foes?
No foes. No foes. I don't know.
Just a joke.
Yeah. No foes. Maybe some. No. Went over and I went to the bar and started ordering like a beer, and this guy came up to me and went, "You Australian?" I was like, "Yeah," and he had like a Russian, Ukrainian, found out he's Ukrainian. Vlad lives in Chicago, mad NRL fan.
Yeah, right.
Like, he's been watching NRL for the last 15 years, like was going through grand finals, big moments. I'm like, he is a dead set rugby league nuffy and follows the game in America, but more so watches NRL on NRL. What's it called? Watch NRL?
Yeah, the international
There's a Watch NRL app.
Yeah.
He consumes everything on YouTube. And we got talking, and we met up with him at the end of at the doubleheader at the stadium. He's going back this year. We've maintained communication.
Has he got a team?
He's Chooks, man.
Is he?
Thank
you very
so
much.
Chooks, right?
Yeah, it is Chooks.
Like, it's they just got everyone involved in the club for the same.
Thank you, sir.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it, and it just made me. Like, that's why when you're throwing shade from afar at something and not actually...
This was part of your... I think this was part of the tweet almost, right? Like
understanding what's going on in rugby league. And yes, it's not like there's not a million Vlads, but one's enough to get you excited about what rugby league can do for sports fans. And he's just got around it the last 15 years. And what an amazing story, and that made me... I know we've both got our stories about how we got into rugby league, and my grandparents were a massive part, but like to have someone who just cottoned onto the game through like the exposure of YouTube, and got me thinking about YouTube. And I said earlier in the show that we had past a milestone of 1 million views.
Amazing.
And it's like, it's amazing where you see those views come from.
Yeah.
That how
for sure.
people getting around not only just Joel and Fletch, but the game of rugby league.
Yeah.
And that's the exciting thing. If you're knocking the Vegas stuff, I do implore you to sort of like look a bit more into what's going on behind the scenes. If you don't like Peter V'landys, at least give him and Abdo and what they're doing with the game, at least give him a bit of a chance to give this 5-year experiment a go, because I've already seen the benefits having travelled over there, seeing girls and boys want to try something new and see how far that challenge can go from the nines. I met guys from Canada and America that came down that telling me friends that didn't go down for this tournament were jealous that they didn't come down for it. That nines tournament's going to be bigger and better. I think the US are playing Greece this year. I think it got announced last week. Canada might be organising a game too. So not only is it growing in terms of the game day, but the people that are going to conversion to Vegas is going to be something special for years to come. And I hope people can, find a way to be able to experience it, because it was a once in a lifetime experience that I want to make a second or a third time experience.
Like your Drags there next year or the year after?
Maybe, but like even not being a Dragons fan, I had so much fun.
Yeah.
And met so many good people that love the game like I do.
Yes. I can see a little tear.
I know, I nearly got emotional. I didn't think it was the mango pancake or the extra chili on the dumpling. But
little tear coming out. A Vegas tear.
Yeah.
Well, Brooksy, it's been our honour to have you on this show, and I'm glad that one of us came up with this great idea.
Yeah, you've done well, Shinazzi.
Yeah, usually I don't, but today I'm really proud of myself. What a great idea.
Oh, now I see a tear in your eye.
We wish you no luck on Sunday. We hope that you lose. And give everyone another plug for all of your work, in all seriousness, because you're on a few different pods and shows, so go through them all of them. Go for it.
I hope, I'm sure a couple of your listeners get around SEN, and we're trying to represent league fans, sports fans in Sydney as much as we can. I know it's a tough deal trying to do that, and understand that we're probably not talking about certain teams and certain sports, but as much as we could or should, from your opinion. But we believe we're doing some special stuff on SEN, and hopefully you guys can get around us and tune in and get involved in the shows, whether it be on air live or on the social media platforms that we've got.
Or on the podcast.
Or on the podcast as well. We're everywhere. YouTube as well. Like it's something that we wanted to do to get you guys in the studio. I get to see these guys, these amazing funny blokes do their thing. We wanted to peel back the curtain and show you guys what's happening in the studios when Fletcher's making a joke or Joel's coming up with some sort of crazy idea to improve the game or improve sport in general.
We should say that, and this is me saying this, Joel Kane, Sharks sympathiser.
Yeah, because he lives here.
I know, but he's on board.
I feel like if you did a sugar pie chart, like the Tigers section and the Sharks section, not many degrees difference there.
Tell us about your latest podcast you're on.
Oh, not another effing rugby league podcast. Because, Shinazzi, you host 19 of them. There's a lot of rugby league podcasts out there. So Andrew Barnett and Steve Philp are a couple of comedians. Barney from his work with The Professor, and you might know Philpy from his stand-up. He does a lot of hosting down at the casino and down at gentlemen's clubs, but also gentlemen nights. What do you call them?
I did look up when you said that.
Gentlemen lunches. Sorry.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, not clubs, the lunches. Where you have a few ex-players talk about their career, and it's a bit of a drinks and food package. Men? I think that's just what they were called.
Let's change it up. Let's call them lunches.
Long lunches.
Long lunches,
where he hosts, and a few famous rugby league and sports stars will tell their stories. He hosts that.
Not another effing podcast.
Yeah,
rugby league podcast.
Rugby league podcast. We have a bit of a light-hearted look at the round of rugby league. We dabbled in a bit of Olympics.
It's a good listen. I'm a subscriber.
Yeah,
good
we,
listen.
We try and have a bit of fun. Not so much analytical, but more, just poking fun at funny things that happen in the week of rugby league.
Yeah, which is quite often a lot.
Yes.
All right, Brooksy,
the game that keeps on giving.
They're kicking us out. They're threatening to cut up my shirt. We've got to get out of here, too.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being had. It was also fun.
That was worse than my gentleman's club.
Fun having the boys train. That was an added surprise.
Yeah, not pretty short training session, Shinaz.
Well,
are you looking into it?
No, Captain's run tomorrow.
Good.
It's a day off yesterday, light run today, Captain's run tomorrow, Derby Sunday. Let's go.
Nico wearing jersey 7, and there's still, our session went longer than their session.
It's been a long session. You haven't got your eye on the clock, but I do.
Yeah.
It's a long session.
Yeah, it feels like it.
That's what the listeners said. All right. Sharkcast Pod, we are out of here. Check out our feed for more episodes. Go check out Brooksy on all of his...
OnlyFans.
Excuse me. Is that like a subscriber?
Not yet. Coming in 2025.
Okay. We out of here. We're full of Chinese food. Golden Bay is where you need to be. They looked after us. They'll look after you. Tell them Sharkcast sent you. And they'll be like, who's that? What's a Sharkcast?
Oh, those two idiots in the corner doing the podcast that's going nowhere.
I thought you were more saying, like, do they have a plan? Is it going somewhere? They got a script. A run sheet. You guys got a run sheet? No run sheet.
Here, no run sheet.
All right, Brooksy. Till the next derby.
Good luck.
If not before.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.